The sooner we act, the sooner our warriors can return home to evolving and ever-improving solutions. But we don't have to wait. Even small acts of patience and tolerability by everyday citizens can heal and begin to return the potential to some of our nation's bravest.
We really do have the chance to have the next greatest generation of veterans here. These are people who can be wonderful assets to their community, with life experiences that are not duplicated anywhere else. At a time when our country needs heroes more than we ever have, who are many of them are going to need some help. But if they get that proper help, they can be one of the most valuable assets that we've got.
With such a high percentage of our veterans having served on multiple deployments, the number of men and women returning with combat-inflicted traumatic brain injury continues to grow. So Operation Resurrection's primary objective in raising awareness for these veterans is imperative. Together, veterans and even everyday citizens, with the guidance of medical, legal, and college communities, can make a positive impact in our nation's battle against TBI.
The majority of America supports the troops. They may not support the war, but they support us, and that's a change that we've made since Vietnam. It's a great change. There's still work to be done. Now, once you get a troop in a situation like mine, they still aren't as supportive as I think they should be.
But on a larger level, educating the public in general about our veterans coming home so that they understand the service, they understand the sacrifice, they have the due respect that these people have coming to them, and are there collectively as a community to support these veterans when they come home and stumble and start to fall.
I fought honorably. People may see me as a felon, they may see me as an inmate, which I am those things, but I'm also a veteran. I fought for my country. I got an honorable discharge. You hear guys all the time saying, thank the troops, thank the troops. You see it all over TV, thank the troops, but thank a veteran too, because once they take that uniform off, they're not done. That rides with them for the rest of their life.
Instead of putting a sticker on in the back of their cars that says support our troops, I mean really support these guys. Offer them jobs if you're a business owner. Give them training, help these guys navigate the system, get them through school. A lot of these veterans have family members. Well, you can actually hire the veteran's spouse as well too.
Every friend, every family member, every person I've ever known and will ever know will be affected by my experience, because it is me now. I left a piece of me over there and I brought a piece back, and that'll never change.
It's a personal battle that they're dealing with on their own, and it's hard to, transition back into, this world, being used to that world.
Some people can totally disassociate. I'm not one of those people. It'll always be in the back of my mind. It'll always be in the back of every relationship I have, every friendship I have. And, but hopefully I can make that a positive experience.
Continuing this, different programs that are bringing attention to, young veterans or even older veterans, their situations that they're dealing with, whether it be, post-traumatic stress, TBIs, the Veterans Court, because of these situations, there's good people doing things that are not normally in their character.
If my son wanted to join, I don't know what I would do. Probably the same thing. It would be pride and sadness. Pride and sadness. I'd be proud of him for wanting to join, and I'd be sad because I know what it could mean.
If they do anything, they being Americans out there, all I ask you is, if you see a soldier anywhere, walk up, thank him for serving, because it's your freedom he has in mind, because you wouldn't have that freedom if it wasn't for a vet.
The education and, the awareness can be brought up with these things. Then it's just a matter of time before it's easier for these guys to get the help and assistance that they need.
What I see as a result of the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts is an opportunity. We have an opportunity to make a basic change in this country as to how we deal with all neurologic injuries. The neurologic injuries from the Gulf War are people getting ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, Parkinson's disease. These are very complex neurologic issues. Flash forward to the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts, and you have traumatic brain injury, which is a very complex issue.
There's no reason why young people who are in medical school shouldn't be working at the VA. In essence, it should be a component of going through medical school and graduating from medical school. We have so many vets coming back that I think it would both be a good experience for the future doctor, but it would also be beneficial to the veterans' healthcare system.
What I want them to know is that the injuries of this war, the traumatic brain injuries, the concussive injuries, are treatable. But you have to care. You have to think about it. You have to get the right physicians involved. You have to pursue it. I mean, these are treatable.
There should be coordination, and we can't let the idea that we've never done this before stop us from doing these kind of creative things. But again, the VA, I think, needs to create incentives for the medical schools.
What we need to do is to bring all of the resources available to our returning veterans. We need to get the civilian medical community working with the veterans community. We need to get people in the community for jobs and rehabilitation.
You have to give the VA the money they need. You have to have these kids seen. And I want their family members to know that there is treatment. And they better get on the hotlines. They better call their congressman. They better get organized with the veterans groups.
If we can be doing something together that would ultimately help the veteran in the long term, I think we need to do that.
There are a lot of people trying to do their own thing. What we need is all of us together in a room doing a team thing for the veterans who have given so much for us.
This collective and unified front approach is the only path to victory. And even you can help today by getting involved, supporting local veterans events, and contacting and encouraging our elected leaders to support and write legislation that hastens the reacclimation of our combat vets into civilian life. Like my grandfather, General George S. Patton Jr. once said, "Either lead me, follow me, or get out of my way." That's the audacity and determination that Operation Resurrection asks of you so that we can speed the salvation of our battle-scarred heroes. Today, you can help immediately by supporting and donating to advocacy groups like resurrectinglives.org and many others. By just spreading the word through social media and town halls, you can help to educate and raise awareness. Let us never forget the sacrifice they made for this country.
I just want a normal life. I want to get married, have a wife, some kids, a little house, work a job, and just watch my kids grow up. My future consists of trying to get out of prison, but I do have some hopes and dreams. I really want to dedicate my life to veterans and transitional counseling, and I'd really like to work with veterans coming home.
What I want to do with this documentary or with a series is to make the country aware, the healthcare providers, the employers, the families, the warriors aware, that they are not alone, that we can all work together and help bring back this brain, this body, this warrior, this family, this community to a good steady state where there will be employment, where there will be hope, and where there will be a future.
Remember them. The hundreds of thousands that came before me and before this generation, these years now, that they may not know. Don't let them be forgotten.